Borough fans, hello and welcome back to episode 31 on season 7 of the Stevenage Football Club podcast. You can tell, guys, I'm buzzing. What a win! 3-1 away at Stockport yesterday. What a team. What a team. We know what we've created, a top half League One team. We believed that we would see these performances again, and we did yesterday. Guys, hopefully you had a great viewing of the match yesterday. Hopefully, everyone that travelled to the match got home safely. I know that the players looked like they went straight out in London to the darts today. I don't know if anyone's seen the pictures of the players in their fancy dress. Mental that when you actually see the pictures and you think it's the captain on the left. It's big. That's what a group of players. They go from beating Stockport 3-1 on Saturday, and then a day later, they're all pissed up going to the darts. I mean, what a group. They're just my favourite team. I love them. Absolutely love them. But guys, welcome back to the podcast. Massive hello if you're watching on YouTube, and a massive hello if you're listening onto all the audibles, Spotify, etc. As you can see, titled Yes for today's pod, obviously, from that big win. Luca, mate, you're grinning like a Cheshire cat like me, mate. What a win. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm great, thanks, Matt. I hope you're well. I didn't expect it, to be honest. I don't think most people expected it, but buzzing, absolutely buzzing. And it's a statement. That's what I think. It is a statement. Is everyone's doubting Revs, the team, goal scoring wise. It's a statement for me. Absolutely buzzing.
Do you know what? I said it when when the third went in, I said it because do you know what? Even when Stockport scored, I knew we'd win. It felt so comfortable, and I just thought, no, we're definitely going to win the game. But when that third went in, knew that the game would be.
You didn't say anything when the third went in. You were doing other things.
Oh mate, down the front, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to hug Louis, jumping him. I patted him on the shoulder in the end, and just the passion that he was shouting. I was like, it's my midfield player. He's had an unbelievable game. But one of the things I did know, I knew that we'd won the match after that third goal. And I said it to Amy, I was like, that is the best win of the season. That is the statement win. 3 goals at Stockport, 3-1. Like, statement win for this whole season. And I so agree with you, mate. But can imagine it was fun viewing it on the telly, mate, wasn't it? My word.
Was as I said to you before, the goal was unexpected because I was like, God, you just hoofed it again, and like, God, here we go again. We're just going to bottle it because we just conceded, and then see that. I mean, it was a horrible mistake, wasn't it, from their defender
Yeah, what was
for
he
the,
doing?
for the goal. But the way Louis hits it on the volley, just when he's having like a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, you just fancy him for anything, and he hit it on the volley so perfectly. Um, and he was class. Honestly, we'll go into it, but he was unbelievable for me.
Yeah, he was. And it was a great lob. You knew it as soon as the defender made the mistake, it was in. It was like, just lob him. You clean through Louis. Just get him behind the lobby. See, what I loved is when he did lob the goalkeeper, he just saw it bounce again. It was in, just hit the back of the net. And it was just, it was absolute epic scenes, mate. But yeah, 5th place. Wow, what a team. And we will get into it in a little bit. I don't know where Andy's tonight. Has anyone seen And tonight?
Anyone seen Jake Tong, the Imps, Lincoln Michael Scabala, Raptor, James Collins, Jake Tong, University, the Cathedral, Jake Tong, Bank. That's what we talk about, boys. 3-1 at Stockport. Lincoln draw 2-all, despite being 2-all, 2-0 up. Unbelievable. Saturdays don't come better.
Unreal. Andy Blair, by the way. Fantastic.
Jake Tong, that's how you do it if you're ever going to do it again.
Oh, mate. I mean, hopefully that come through on the audio and
I really hope so after all of that.
I'm gonna laugh if I come around to editing this podcast and it's just not in there, by the way. Unbelievable, and has anyone seen Link? For goodness sake. And I bet come on, man, we're buzzing. How are you?
I think I'm still in shock. I'll be honest. I was fully expecting it like to be 0-0 or like a scrappy 1-0, or we go there play well but don't get anything out of the game. And that's what I was fully expecting. And then where was I? I went to the Hampton game, and then I saw Chem score, and everyone was like, "What a worldie of a goal!" And I'm like, "Because what do you mean we're 1-0 at Stockport? What?" And then 2-0.
We
We
scored
scored
a
a goal.
goal.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, no, it's going to be like flash score gone early. It's going to get ruled out for offside or some sort of
And as
nonsense.
we know, flash score can go wrong on occasion.
Yep, yep, very well.
Are
And
we all
like,
flash score users here? Are
Well,
we all?
yes,
Are we
and
all?
is a valid flash score user. I mean, I wouldn't really categorize myself as that. I know And is an expert on the old
I
flash
am.
score, but there you go.
um, but yeah, I mean, then it got to like 3-1. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I kind of wish because I text Sam because we said in the morning he was like, it's either going to be one of those where we go, thank fuck I didn't go, or Christ, I wish we went.
I should have gone.
Yeah, but it was just one of those things. I would have gone, but I didn't really fancy doing the 3.5 hour drive solo. I'll be honest.
But you could have come back and enjoyed the post 3-1 fifth place drinks in the hot tub potentially. That could have that
Uh,
coming down a
yeah,
treat. You know,
but yeah. I mean, what result? I don't think anyone in the league saw that coming. I'll be honest. I don't. You can sit and you'll go through League One live tonight, for example. They'll sit there and go, "Oh, well, we didn't see that one coming."
They'll be like, oh, we actually have to talk about Stevenage now.
yeah. Hang on, I thought we were
Yeah.
slipping, weren't we, down the table? 30.
Yeah, someone said that.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Wow, I'm not being funny. I don't want to put pressure on the team, and I'm sure this wouldn't in any way, shape, or form. But we're not even at the halfway point. We've pretty much got half of 70 points. I mean, we're not going anywhere. 100%. We've been saying this for weeks.
What I
Even
think,
if we won one match,
what I think though, is my main takeaway from the game is that we belong at a level. We definitely do. And it's not like we belong at League One level or mid-table. You don't go and away to Stockport under that pressure, under that scrutiny, because let's be honest, we weren't. There was lots of changes in the formation and the lineup and that. But going into it, no goal since Bradford in open play, and you think looking great going forward away to Stockport, and you think we belong at the level. We belong at that top level if you go and beat those sides in those situations where you go, Stockport in good form. They're in good form, and you probably fancy them over us, definitely. But
I think, yeah. No, I agree with you, Luke. I think that, like for me, like we know like what we've created, right? We've created this top half League One team. We know how great we are. Like we've seen it. Like you don't just win your opening 4 matches consecutively and have the best defense and go from beaten at home for the amount of time that we've done and played the way that we played in a lot of the matches. When you look at even games like Huddersfield, for example, where we were brilliant in the last 30 minutes and other games. But like, I'm so with you. Like, I feel like we haven't had, and we've beaten Luton and we've got a point against Bradford, which were great results, but we haven't had that win where you've gone, we are a part of this top bracket in League One, right? And yesterday was that win where everyone went, we are of this level. We know that we are, but if you have a look through the wins, we've beaten a lot of the teams down the bottom. We've beaten Luton and got a draw against Bradford, but that's the only results got against the top team. To be fair, we haven't played a lot of them up to now. But after that win yesterday, it was like, for me, that's kind of set it in stone. We are of the top bracket in League One. There's no doubt about it.
because we didn't just beat them, to be honest. I mean, we showed what we're good at. You know, our shape was really good second half. They put a lot of pressure on us first maybe 10 minutes. That was a lot of pressure from them. But, we showed that football we can play as well. And you think the quality of all 3 goals, every single player's involved. Every single attacking player, midfield player, it all goes through the team. And it's all switched from side to side. You've got Phoenix Patterson linking up with Jamie Reid. Jamie Reid, I thought, was really good in terms of work rate and his link-up play. It's fantastic. But everyone was involved, and haven't normally said that this season. We normally single out one idiot, and we single out them. I know Anne's smiling, but that's a
We
word
all
we
We've got
know
a
use a
new
who
lot.
one to
Luca
add to the
means, Ad.
list.
I
We've
wasn't.
got a
I
new one
didn't.
to
I
add to
didn't
the
want to.
list.
I didn't want to say his name. Come on, I didn't want to say his name.
I don't know. I think I'm just going to say his name, the Bears. I think the Bears played a massive part in that win yesterday. I think there
He
was a
did
lot of
not.
stuff behind the scenes that went on.
You had
No.
more game time than
I,
him. You had more game time than him.
But
Bob.
that is
I,
true. More
I tell you what,
success as well, some would say.
I tell you what, right? I saw the Bears on the bench and I thought, hallelujah, we might be all right, right? And then I saw him come on the pitch and I thought, we could lose this 4-3 now. There's
Oh,
every
I'm not
possibility.
having that. That's ludicrous. There was no what Bez comes on. Oh no, we're going to concede three
Because
goals.
I messaged you, Anne, and I was saying that Reedy was struggling with something at the end of the first half, and it was like the
Yeah.
Barlow, he's stripped and he's coming on, and it was like this is exactly what we don't need.
Yeah. Do you know what I just and we'll get into it in a bit, and we'll go through the lineups and stats. But I just thought that was just such a season-defining win for these players. And look, we know the level that we're at. Like we've seen it. We saw it in the summer. I go back to Bishop Stortford, really weird one to use. And I remember standing there that day at Bishop Stortford. It was the first match that we could go to this campaign. And they won 8-1. And I was watching the football and I was just watching the way we were all interconnecting and playing football between the lines. I just remember standing there going, what a team we've got. And then obviously we went off to Spain and we said it again. And so we knew it in the summer, right? But that yesterday, it really made you look at it and go, what a team we've got. Because, you look at that team that played yesterday, that team really could play every single week and win the majority of their games. And then you're thinking there's no Good, there's no Kemp, there's no Harv, who have been like arguably three of the best players this season. I mean, Charlie Good's player of the season for a lot of us. He didn't even play yesterday. He didn't even notice it. But then when you look and you see Louis Thompson, Jordan Alton, he's a championship level players. And they're in the midfield playing again. It was just wonderful. They were absolutely magnificent. And yeah, I'm excited to speak about this, boys. This is going to be elite. We'll go straight into it because obviously we did record after the Cardiff loss, going into I think the biggest game of the season against Stockport for so many reasons. And it was an unbelievable day. Our 18th League One match of the most important season. We won 3-1, 3 goals. What is going on? Unbelievable win for this team away at Stockport on Saturday. Chem Campbell opened the scoring with that unbelievable goal in the 22nd minute. We did then score again. Big goal, Reedy. Scored his 7th goal of the League One season, tapping in the second half before Carl Wooten made it 2-1 and pulled one back. But then straight away from the kickoff, Louis Thompson ran up the other end of the pitch and lobbed the goalkeeper. Why is Anne's head on his hands? What is going on, Anne, by the way?
Just forgotten. Carl Wooten was another idiot that played for us.
Oh,
Yeah, we said it on the last episode.
and you've got another name to state. You've got another
Alex
name.
Samuel.
Yes,
Alex Samuel. Yeah, do you remember Carl Wooten on the last episode? I was like, we're playing against an idiot.
wow.
Saturday.
Well, I don't remember that, I'll be honest.
Oh, okay, never mind. But then Louis Thompson went up the other end and scored with that spectacular lob to make it 3-1. Limbs in the away end. It was a fantastic win and a season-defining win for this team. The lineup, and I think this really kind of in my mind, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this in a bit, the lineup really kind of, how do I say it? It confirmed to me just by seeing the lineup that I really, really fancied us to win this game because it was one of the best lineups I think we've actually lined up with the whole season. And it was such a brilliant change from Alex Ravel. And again, Rev's got it bang on. Now, a lot of people said that we went with the 4-2-3-1, and that seemed to be the case. There were elements of changes in the game as well. There was a period in the game where we actually went 4-1-4-1, but it was just the rotation around the 4-2-3-1. So Alex Ravel did go back to deploying the 4-2-3-1, which again we spoke about and we said we need that unpredictability in games. Stockport probably would have assumed that we were going to line up 3-5-2, and they pretty much did that. But we went with the 4-2-3-1. Philip Marshall in between the sticks, who's been absolutely fantastic. No crystal ball needed, and
Cultured cannon.
that did come out in the first half when he had to, kind of block one, not really off the line, but he had to make a, pretty simple save. The back line for the big 3-1 win at Stockport was Luther Wilding, the Sween dog, Dan Sweeney, partnering Carl Piergiani with Lewis Freestone at left back. The two in there, Jordan Out and Louis Thompson, and obviously Louis played a little bit more of a free role, was able to get forward as well, but him and Jordan Houghton were originally as a pair in the middle. We had Dan Phillips in front of them as a little bit of a trio. Chem Campbell out right. Phoenix Patterson out on the left. Thank God Phoenix starts a game for this team with big goal Jamie Reid leading the line. The substitutes bench, Ashby Hammond, Ryan Doherty was back in the squad, Saxon Early, the Bez, Joe Van Malcolm, Jasper Patterson, and Jake Young back on the bench for the big 3-1 win. The statistics, some fantastic stats here. We had 32% possession to Stockport 68. At one point in the match, we did have a higher possession rate than Stockport. That was only until the very kind of last 25 minutes of the match. We had 7 shots overall in the match with 4 on target. Stockport had 14 with 4, so both teams had 4 shots on target. We had 10 touches in the opposition box of Stockport's 24. 4 saves overall in the match, and that was 3 for us. Aerial duels, we had 21 to Stockport's 19. There were 23 fouls committed overall in the game with 8 corners. We had 3 and Stockport had 5 corners. Some distribution stats. We made 265 passes to Stockport's 546. We made a pass accuracy of 66.8% compared to Stockport's 83.7. We made 38 backward passes to Stockport's 92. 129 forward passes to Stockport's 192, and we made 70 long balls compared to Stockport's 57. There were also 44 successful final third passes made by us compared to Stockport's 114. Total clearances in the match for some defensive statistics. We had 34 to Stockport's 20. Excuse me. Boys, what a fabulous win this was. Now I've called it our biggest one of the season. It was just so important to win a game against another top team, because the top teams, the one thing that they have the ability in doing is being able to get results and win games against the other top teams. And that's been something that we have done this season when we see that we've beaten Luton and we got a point against Bradford. But when we played the other 3 top teams, we've lost narrowly 1-0. And this match for me was huge about getting a result. I mean, we got a result and won it 3-1, which just makes it look even greater. What a win. What a performance. I think the thing for me, boys, and I don't know if you lads agree, the lineup. Now, this was huge for me. The lineup comes out and I instantly just felt so confident. You looked at that starting 11 that Revs went with. We know we had no Good and Kempenave. And you look through it and you saw Phoenix in, which, we've said so many times. Phoenix is one of the most technically gifted footballers we have at this club. And he has to start games. He's a top League One level player. He might not have played there in his career yet, but he's got all the ability to be a player of that level with the way that he plays in his performances. He had Chem Campbell starting, but for me, it was the trio. It was Dan Phillips, Louis Thompson, and Jordan Out. And you saw the spine of that team. You just thought, there's too many experienced top League One level players to not get a result here in that 11. And the proof was in the pudding. The performance was dominant. The football was fantastic. The goals were brilliant and really dominated a team in Stockport. Don't know which one of you wants to go on it first, boys, but what an unbelievable win.
Firstly, I think that game showed how good our squad is. Honestly, the depth is just incredible, and the fact that Revs can just call upon players just like that, and the midfield especially, like the depth in that middle is up there, the best in the league. And you said it off the pod that you've got Kempe and White missing. Two huge players that are that creative spark in the middle that are going to progress us up the pitch and provide that link between defence and attack. And then you bring in Dan Phillips, Louis Thompson, Jordan Houghton, who are all different. They all bring something different. But the way they just work so well, and they progress the ball up in a completely different way. And it unlocked loads of different stuff for us. And I go back to him, Louis Thompson. He is the man, honestly, when he is on form. He brings you everything. Defensively, going forward, he's so dangerous because you can't win the ball off him a bit like Dan Phillips. The way he progresses with it, the pace he uses with that as well. He's a great finisher as well, as it showed yesterday. And then you've also got Ryan Doherty, who's given him 20 minutes at the end of a game like that away to Stockport in a huge game. Just shows like, the trust in these players, especially. And as you said earlier, Charlie Good, player of the season for me. Didn't even notice he was there. He wasn't there. And you've got Sweens, who yet again, he's called upon and he delivers.
But that guy is the big time player. He just steps up every game that he's needed. Sweens.
He's honestly, Sweens is incredible. And literally the best replacement centre half you could ask for. He just does the job. He's solid, and God, I love it when he goes on his little runs. And you just don't know what he's going to do with the ball. He could dribble past their whole team. He could lose it and fall on his arse. He could do anything. But yeah, fantastic. Depth is brilliant. And what I was really happy with, I think I said it last episode, that I wanted to see some new dynamics brought in. Something different for Stockport to think about, maybe. And he brought that with a 4-2-3-1, changing it from the 3-5-2 that's maybe Stockport would have thought that he would have gone with. And then he brings in Phoenix Patterson as well. And that gives you something completely different. And we just played differently, I thought. And we were just confident in the way we expressed ourselves. And yeah, it was brilliant.
Do you know what? It's a real coming out moment for me because like we know what we created in the summer, right? Like we knew the goal was we wanted to evolve and become a top half League One team. So we created that squad, and we put a lot of effort in behind the scenes to put us in a position to be able to have this season. And look, we've been unbelievable this season. When you look at 10 wins now, by the way, unbelievable. 10 wins from 18. When you look at the wins, when you look at the performances that we've had this massive season, it's been terrific. But I feel like there's and we've had some moments, Orient away, Luton at home, some real standout wins, and even Blackpool in the opener. But I feel like we haven't had that coming out win where you win and everyone goes, whoa, what a team. That was it for me yesterday, because you looked at that lineup and there was a few players, big players missing, from this season. But, Ange, you made this point right at the start of the season. The great thing about this squad depth and this squad, you could play two separate squads on any match day and still expect to win matches. And that was it in a nutshell yesterday. It was a different side. You had different players playing in a different sort of setup, and they won the game 3-1 against a team that regarded to challenge for promotion this season. I thought first 5 minutes was just a crazy first 5 minutes. I thought Stockport come out quick, and I thought it was important that we got through that period, and we did pretty comfortably. But the way we got a grip of the game, the football we played, nice direct ball. I think Reds had said to him prior to the game, look here, you lot, you're good footballers. Get the ball down and play. Well, it probably worked on a few things at Bragg since Tuesday coming into this match. And that showed, the way that Jordan Houghton was coming off and getting the ball. And there was moments where he played the ball through the lines and it got us away. And Sweens and Pitch were passing the ball and trying to move the ball into different areas of the pitch. The football was magnificent. And then, you looked at players' performances like Chem Campbell, best game in our in a shirt for us this season, in my opinion. Just come of age yesterday. His quality on the ball. He was running at people. His goal was brilliant. And then you got Louis Thompson. I mean, as you said, Luca, I think on his day, Louis Thompson is one of the best players in this whole squad. And it, absolutely ran the game yesterday. A general in there, got forward. He was able to support the forward line. He was able to support us when we were defending. It was a complete midfield performance.
Yeah, well, injury free, I'd start him every game. I think he's nailed on starter if he's injury free because he just brings you that whole package.
Yeah, yeah, and he's a top League One player. This is the thing about that team, right? You looked at the lineup yesterday, and it was like Jordan Hout and Louis Thompson. These are two people that have played Championship football. These two, they're partnering each other for us. You've got Dan Phillips in front of them, who we know is just so good, so aggressive, so dynamic in what he does. It was a magnificent performance and 3 goals. Unbelievable, mate. I mean, and it's so great, not just to win a game like this. Our real first top of the table clash that we've won. I know Luton are up there, but Luton are toilet. Like this is the first match that we've won against those top teams. Unbelievable, mate, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you look at the starting 11 and you see 11 competent players, and you don't see the likes of the Bez near the starting 11, and you see what happens.
Well, I mean, you say that, but he did come on and do a few lollipops at the end of the game and held up that ball really well in the final moment.
Game was gone. Game was finished.
Neil
But
Banfield did a few lollipops on the sideline.
Oh, mate,
yeah,
they were all doing him, I think. By the way, I just throw in there to go along with your point now. The football for the second goal, by the way, unbelievable.
yeah.
Triangles and squares, back kills, balls in. Jesus Lord.
I said it on the pod after the Cardiff game. We've gone from playing really nice football, keeping it on the floor, playing it through the lines, using our width, using our wide players. It's going back to hoofing the ball up to the bezel Reedy, which, in the greatest of respect, isn't their game. That doesn't suit them.
Well, I think that we showed yesterday. We showed both ways. I
Yeah.
think, which was
And
really
then
good.
from what I've seen on the highlights, um, obviously the third goal's from the kickoff, so we've naturally gone with the Pidge diag, which we always do, and it's paid off. But the first 2 goals, it was pass, move. One player moves, the other one knows that they've got to make this run. And I think for me, Phoenix Patterson getting a start, I mean, you know, you tell me, Bezel or Phoenix starting out wide, you'd want Phoenix every day, running at a defender.
Yeah,
He's
And
got to get another one.
eventually,
We need to run a
it's,
game.
he
yeah.
does. He does.
And what I'm going to say now, you might go, oh, I don't know about. Sweens comes in for Luton, plays unbelievably well. Next week, I think or the next game is like Lincoln away, gets dropped, right? Sweens is one of those players that's confidence player. So he's come in yesterday, he's put in an unbelievable performance. He's confident. As much as Charlie Good has been outstanding this year, you cannot go and drop Sweens next week because even if he does, you can call it rotation, but Sweens will see it as a drop going, I've played so well and now I'm back to sitting on the bench again.
Well, it's the
Hang on a
same
minute.
thing with
Like,
Pidge, isn't it? When Pidge got
yeah,
suspended and then Sweens and Lewis Freestone came in for Peterborough and they were brilliant. They then played again at Wigan. So you've got that
yeah,
argument. You've got that
yeah.
argument. Hmm.
I think for me, when we come on to it against Burton next week, you'd almost have to play the same three. And I think as well, when you watch football, when your midfield is full of energy, all of them 9 out of 10s, it transfers to your back line, who then, lift their levels, and it transfers forwards to the forward line, who then also lift their levels. So then across the pitch, you're getting 9 out of 10s from everybody.
Hmm.
You've got that work rate. The midfield is the hardest bit because you're box to box. You've got to do both. But when you've got Louis Thompson driving forward, you've got Dan Phillips making tackles and doing God knows what else with the football and whatever. And then you've got Jordan Houghton just controlling it, directing play. Everyone else is just free to go and do what they like. Like you almost went to the four players yesterday. Let these three run the game. You lot go and crack on, and then Chem Campbell's goal. I mean,
Yeah, it was an unbelievable strike. Unbelievable.
No, I really agree because I think when we're at our best, we have a midfield that has a balance where you've got three different players that all bring something different and all have a different role. Where you talked about Houghton just sitting deep, and then you've got the other two that are all either going forward or winning tackles in Dan Phillips. That is when we're at our best, when we've got that mix of every single attribute. That is when we're at our best. I think it showed definitely yesterday. And missing those two creative players, it's just fantastic. And you can bring those in, and it makes us even better. Scary.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Like that lineup for me yesterday was one of the best I've seen this season because what I loved about it is he actually played Phoenix and Chen in a game. Like we've been saying the whole season, Phoenix Patterson has to start games. Like you've got one of the most gifted, probably the most gifted footballers in the division in terms of what Phoenix is. He should play every game. He should play every game. And do you know what? I wonder if this has been a case of Alex Revell's actually found it difficult to try and find his starting 11, right? Because the squad depth is so damn good, as we saw yesterday. You can make changes and bring players in and they'll still win and play at that level. That's again what we created. But I do wonder if Rez has found it really, really difficult to think and pinpoint who to start because we've got this such amazing squad depth. But Phoenix comes in brilliant. Chem on the other side, brilliant. It was just, and the football, some of the football we played between the lines, keeping the ball, the goal that we scored for Reedies was such a brilliant move, in pockets of space, runners running off the ball, great ball in from Luca. Again, Jamie Reid, I want to mention, massive goal for Reedy. Reedy's got 2 in 4 now. So, Reedy's now, he's starting to put together some goals again. And that's big for me. We need our goal scorer to score goals. And Reedy's on 7 now. So hopefully Reedy can go on a little purple patch now over Christmas. But for me, it was the lineup. It was the recipe to our success. You could clearly see that Revs had done a little bit of work with them on the training pitch in terms of the way that we played, get the ball down, because we're sitting here with this top half League One team that we've created. Why do we want to just kick the ball every time we play? You've got players like Jordan Houghton, get them on the ball. You've got Phoenix out there, play some football, play the way that those players want to play. And you saw that yesterday. And I'm not being funny, all right? I know Stockport about Ollie Norwood, whatnot, guy's not exactly the youngest player anymore. But, I stood there yesterday watching us play better football than Stockport, and Stockport are regarded as this team that are going to contend for the top 2 because Challinger's this, monster of a manager and has built this amazing team and they've spent 2 million plus this season on their squad. And I was standing there watching us outplay them yesterday and play better football, move the ball better and look more of a threat going forward and have more width. And we just looked the better team than Stockport. And I think that was the most pleasing thing of all that again, I think you said it earlier, Luca, that yesterday we proved, no, we are off that level. I think a lot of people have had doubts of us recently, like, Stevenage have had this great start, but, are they going to peter off because they don't belong in that top bracket? I think yesterday showed, no, that's the level of this squad. We belong in that bracket.
Is this the turning point? Because you think that even in the last few seasons under Evans as well, we've been written off around this period in time because we've had great starts to the season. You think every single season we seem to have great starts to the season. Normally December is the month that we fail, and the moment that our form and our goals especially are our weakness. So I think this win, if we put another win like this together, you think against another top team, you think where we're going to be, and just could just be a walk in the park if we put in the same approach and we're that confident in terms of how we play.
Well, this is the thing as well. We've played 18 matches. We've got 34 points. So we've still got 5 matches to the halfway point, and we've got pretty much half to 70. So the thing for me, and I've said this every week this season, right? This team are going nowhere from that top part of the division. We're not. We're not. Like, you don't have 34 points from 54. You don't have 10 wins. You're not going anywhere. We have cemented our position in the top 6, which is incredible. Like, just look at the gap that's forming already. I think we've got like a 5-point gap to 7th now with 2 games now. We are in it. We're in it. We're at Christmas. We're in the top bracket of the division, which makes me just so incredibly proud to say, because it's like, oh my God, you know.
And what did I tell you? I think on the last few episodes, I'll say it again and again. It's that period of December and the New Year. And when we were predicting the games, we did not think that we were going to be in this position. 3 points from 2 tricky games, like you'd think probably the top 2 most would predict. And I think it's a great start because it sets us up for Burton, where we need to go and have the same approach, do what we do, and just do the same thing. And then you look at the month ahead, and it's like, God, if we play like this again, and we have this depth, and then the players that are going to be brought back as well, Goody, Hemby, White. I mean, where could we be at the end of this year?
Well,
Where could we be at the turn of January?
This is my point, right? And you make a great point, Luca. I look ahead at our fixtures coming up, for the festive period in January, and it's like, for example, say we beat Burton on Saturday, which I like to think we will. Excuse me, Lincoln have got Cardiff, Bolton have got to go to Wickham, Bradford have got to go to Orient. I mean, we could be sitting here second place by Christmas. You then look, Wimbledon's winnable. I'm really excited for Cardiff because I want to see, how did we get on against a team like that, playing like that? We didn't see that Tuesday, but playing like that, the way that we did against Stockport last night, I want to see how great this team really is that night against Cardiff.
Revs has got to be confident. He's got to be bold for that game.
100%.
Like he was at Stockport. That core of the 11's got to be maintained.
100%. And then Plymouth, winnable game. So the outlook is, we could be sitting here January time, still in the top 3. And if you are there by January, I'd say if you're there now, you're in it. If you're there by January, you're in the promotion race, which is just unbelievable. And I think people are just expected that we might slip down a little bit and consolidate about 9th or 10th. And that's not the case now. We've got 34 points. We've got 10 wins. I'm going to go through the squad with you boys. We're going to have a little bit of a chat about the players, etc. And the whole back line, including Philip Martial, our favourite goalkeeper. Quick summary on that back line, mate. Luther, Sweens, Pidge and Lewis Freestone. Just another solid performance in that big 3-1 win against Stockport.
Sets a foundation. Sets a foundation for the rest of the players to go and do what they need to do. And I think, what I like about it is you think back to that promotion season, 3 of those 5 players, played in the promotion season, so they all know how each other play. Luther knows how Sweens plays, Sweens knows how Luther and Pidge plays, Pidge knows how Sweens plays. It just works, and I like the combination. You've got Pidge who's going to just twat it airily, anything that comes in the air, and Sweens is going to try and outskill a tricky winger or absolutely clatter into someone. I quite like it.
Well, it's like this dynamic on the podcast, like the way that me and Luca set you up for the Has Anyone Seen Lincoln section. It's that we knew what Anne was going to do. You know that Dan Sweet is gonna go on mazy runs and set. Do you know what I mean? It's a similar sort of thing.
Yeah. And I think Lewis Freestone has come in as such a good addition. I think last year he struggled, and we spoke to him actually before Rotherham. I think it was the last home game, and he said, "I've not played left back since I was 18 or whatever." And Revs had tried to work with him to get him into that position, and he's obviously taken himself off after last season, worked really hard, and he's come back. And I'm not saying this because of my opinion on Dan Butler, but I genuinely think our left back choices now has to be Freestone 1, Sachs 2, Butler 3. That's how good Lewis Freestone has been. Luton at home, I remember I was stood on the terrace, Luton at home, and something didn't go. And Lewis Freestone turned around to Charlie Good, who's played at the top level that you can really in football, and had a go at him. And I'm like, there is no way that Dan Butler would try and pass the blame on someone else, but if something went wrong. But Lewis Freestone went and dealt with it, and then went to go sort yourself out, mate. I've just had to clean up for you. You know, I think that back line is just so dynamic that you've got Luther that likes to bomb on, and then you've got three players who are, well, you've got two that are definitely centre halves and Freestone that's moulded himself into a left back, can bomb on, but doesn't quite have the final delivery. And I think that's something that he will work on, and I'm sure he's very aware of what he can do to become a better left back. But I mean, yeah, just unbelievable, wasn't it?
Is it just
I
me
think,
who thinks that Lewis Freestone will play at a high level at some
yeah,
point? Because
yeah.
I think it's not just it's his consistency, I think, that makes him just undroppable.
Mm.
And I think, especially at home games where he's up against a winger, he's having one of those games, you just fancy him in the tackle, standing tackle, going forward as well. I mean, he's not too bad going forward. He gives us something when we're progressing as well, getting into the midfield. And the way like him and Luca yesterday just linking up with their forward was really important to the way and how we won. Um, but I think he'll be up there. I think he's been one of those players alongside maybe Kempy, Harvey White, that will be considered for a high level in the future
Do you
because he's
know,
just undroppable.
I completely agree. And do you know what it is with not just the back line, the squad actually, is it feels like, and I'll pinpoint this to the back line. Every player that we have in the back line, right, is a starting League One player. Right. And you've got players like Lewis Freestone who have come up a league, right? But really, when you look at Lou and you look at how good of a defender Lou is, he's more than good enough for this division. When you look at Pidge has done the step easily. Sweens has, Luther has. I think Luther, along with Lewis Freestone's got ability to go on through the levels, Luther. I know he's quite settled where he is. And that's probably one of the reasons what's kind of keeping him here. But like, every player in that back line is a starting League One defender. And every defender in our back line would start for minimum 5 to 6 other League One teams, potentially more. So, like, when you look at that back line and you see Luther, Sweens, Pidge, and Lewis Freestone, it doesn't matter that Goody's not playing. It doesn't matter that Saxon or Dan Butler's not starting. They still play to that level. And this is the thing as well. I know this is a really arrogant thing to say. We have the best back line in the league. So it's like, we're talking about this. We're the best of the lot. We're the creme de la creme. We've only conceded 13 in what, 17 games or 18 games. Sorry. So we've got the best back line and I just love it. I love the way that on one day, Goose might be out, you still win the game. Pidge could not play, you could still win the game because that's how good the back line is. I thought they were wonderful yesterday, and they won absolutely everything. Stockport are a tough team, and we defended brilliantly. The midfield, Luca, I'm really excited to speak about this. Louis Thompson, Jordan out, and Dan Phillips. I mean, do you know what I find quite frightening, right? Is I watched that unbelievable win yesterday. I watched it. I preferred it than watching Harv and Dan Kemp. And I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this because Harv and Dan Kemp have been like two of the best players. I preferred seeing Houghton, Louis Thompson, and Dan Phillips, mate. They were that good.
They just made the game all about them, didn't they? I
Yeah.
mean, when you look at the team sheet, I mean, you just fancy us. And with the form that those players are in, I think they're in really good form, all of them. Um, and as I said earlier, it's just that balance. You've got three players who all complement each other, all do different jobs in the midfield. And that creative element that Kempy and Harvey White bring, sometimes we look better without it in a way because you've got players like Louis Thompson and Dan Phillips who are just going to run with it. They're just going to win their tackles, win their duels, and just drive us forward up the pitch. That's what they did so well yesterday. You've got two demons in Phillips and Louis Thompson who just complement each other so well. And then Houghton, who's so underrated, the way he controls, dictates, sits in front of the back line. Nothing would happen without him. He just does the dirty work. And they all just complement each other so well. And you can see that midfield, we'd love that again. In another, I think it took to an away game, in my opinion. I mean, you want to be creative at home. So players like Kempy and White, you want to see them at home. But when you need to go and win your battle, your duels a tough away game, a tough side like Stockport, you've got to have players like Louis Thompson and Phillips to go and win that ball and drive us up. They were fantastic. That literally from them two performances in the season for me.
Mm. Do you know what it really reminded me of yesterday? So and I think this is kind of one way of how I'm trying to give an example for how experienced both Louis Thompson and Jordan Houghton are in this division, because they've played championship. They've been promoted from this division. They've competed for promotion. They're top League One level players. It's like when you see a world champion boxer and they have to defend their title against a challenger, and the challenger is, a really top level. But what was that?
It's like watching Jake Paul v Anthony Joshua.
Well, you would like to think so, but it's like when an experienced world champion boxer takes on a challenger, and the world champion boxer just does certain tricks of the trade to win them the fight. They do certain things at that level that gets them ahead in the fight or allows them to win the fight. They do certain things. And it's exactly the same with Louis Thompson and Jordan Houghton. They do certain things, and they did certain things in the game yesterday, and they used their experience. It was like winning the ball back. There was a moment where Louis Thompson, he was battling for this ball, and he knew a certain trick of the trade of how to get his body in front of the young Stockport guy. It was Owen Moxon, to be fair, who's quite an experienced player himself. But he did a certain thing to get the ball and drew a foul, won the foul. And it was like, that's the level of those players. They're only ever used to playing this level in their career. Do you know what I mean? And that is kind of the thing that I was thinking of when I was watching that performance yesterday, and watching them win the ball back and keep the ball, and Dan Phillips as well, to be honest with you, him included.
I've got a question for you both. Everyone's fit in our midfield. Who's the starting? Because I feel like that I can't answer it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would love to find a way that Dan Kemp gets in because of Kempy's quality, of course. When you look at Dan in the 10, he offers so much, doesn't he? When you play the right way. It's really odd, actually, because that was the way you want to play with Dan Kemp yesterday, wasn't it? But he wasn't playing. I'm going to be honest with you, boys. I preferred what I saw yesterday. When I watched that yesterday, I thought that's one of the best midfield performances we've seen this season. I actually think it was. And that's crazy because Harvey's been one of the best players, and Kempy has to a degree as well. Oh man, I think for me, Louis Thompson starts for me every game for me. And obviously you fit Jordan Houghton at the level does as well, but then you drop in Arm, and Arm's been too good.
You're dropping Harv and Dan Phillips.
You are. Dan Phillips equally. I mean, Dan Phillips was so good yesterday. He didn't even miss Kemp. We didn't even know Kemp wasn't playing. He did everything that Kemp does, even better. It was criminal. Oh, what would you say,
Anne? People are probably going to slate me for this. I would stick with the midfield three from yesterday. No nonsense, no bullshit. Win the ball back, progress it up the pitch, do the box to box, do the dirty stuff. Gosh, it's what you need. It's what you need in League One. It's what you need. Someone who's going to sit and dictate the play. You need a box to box, and you need someone like Phillips who's going to be aggressive and go and win the ball back high up the pitch for you.
Good though, because if you do go with that three, you're forcing that competitive element, aren't you? For Kempy and White, you're forcing them to get back into the team. And that's what we want.
I think, looking at it personally, I just love the fact that when you play Louis Thompson and you play Jordan Houghton, you've got two credited top League One level players there. And I like that yesterday. You looked at the squad and you saw two players starting and pairing together that have played the top of this level and the league above, and that really stuck out for me. You're playing in this big game, and you look at our midfield, and our midfield for both teams have has the better experience at this level.
You're going to say that's the best.
I thought, whoa, I mean, we did until the last 5 minutes. But that's what I took from that midfield. The forward players as well, quick mention, Phoenix, Chen, Reedy. I thought Reedy was brilliant. Reedy played that striker role so well. He got his goal as well. Brilliant finish. And I love the setup for that, the way that Phoenix took the runner away and it allowed Reedy to run to the back post and in behind. I thought they were all magnificent. I thought Chem Campbell come of age. You know, his goal was magnificent. But, you know, what do you want to see from your wingers and attackers? You want to see them being positive. You want to see them taking on people and creating and delivering the ball. How many times did we see that yesterday? How many times did Chem Campbell take someone on down the wide areas, have a shot, beat his man? How many times did you see Phoenix beat a man? That first half, there were so many moments where he went on his left foot, delivered a pinpoint cross into the box. They were brilliant. Jamie Reid, I loved the block. I thought his performance was magnificent. He held the ball really well. He ran in behind, took his goal well. He got unlucky when he hit the post. Proper Jamie Reid performance over the blooming moon for all of them up there. And it was magnificent. What a win. Go on, Anne.
Can I just add something? The way we played yesterday suits Jamie Reid. It's on the floor, it's to his feet. That's where he thrives. All of this long ball getting him to chase stuff doesn't work. Get him playing to feet, he can then lay it off to whoever's in the 10 or lay it off out wide, and then he turns his man. That is the way Jamie Reid plays football. And we saw it.
It's the only way for me that Jamie Reid looks good as a sole striker. When he's got that option with the wingers to link up play, obviously he works better in a strike partnership. I think we've established that. But the way he linked up with his wingers, and he's that ability to, when we play the style of quick link up play within the wingers with the midfielders, and you've got Jamie Reid who can work hard and he can do what he likes best. Because that goal that he scored comes him up in the box, first time, bang. That is his type of goal he scores.
Do you know what? It's really funny you said that. Actually, I'm actually watching it on my phone right now. I just went on Twitter and it's literally the first thing. It's pretty much the club, the admin are saying about Louis Thompson's back heel for the
How
South.
many times have you watched that goal?
Oh, loads. In the hot tub with a drink. So, do you know what? As well? I hadn't been very well last week. I had a really, really nasty cold virus or whatnot. And sitting in that hot tub with a beer last night, watching these highlights, mate, it's got me back to normal. 100%.
How many times have you watched the highlights?
Oh, now that is a different question altogether. I've been watching them. Put it like that. I've been watching these highlights more than I've had dinners the last month, I'd say.
About 100?
I'd say more.
Yeah, naturally.
I watched these highlights. I reckon since I've woken up, I've watched them 30 times in the morning.
Yeah, I've watched them once and I got everything I needed to know in the 2 minutes and whatever of the highlights.
That's a disgrace. Really? Once? You've watched the highlights?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I can't stop watching the Louis Thompson back heel and that little setup play. I mean, that football. And do you know what, though? It's almost like in the changing room and in training this week on the build-up to that match, it was almost like Alex Ravel was just like, lads, you're top players at the level. We wouldn't have brought you here and built this squad if you're not. Just go out and pass the ball. And they've just done that and they've played like that. Do you know what I mean?
I'll be honest, I think this is all down to Banfield.
I mean,
Of course it is.
By the way, can we just also throw in
the strings? Puppeteer.
Can we just also throw in there, and for the people that aren't watching YouTube right now, I'm going to explain what's going on. Can we just also just show everyone, just this group, by the way. I mean, we're talking about Jamie Reid. He's a Christmas tree today, look.
Fits the mold. Fits the mold of the club.
I love it.
Bit of idiots.
So I love this, by the way. They go from winning the season-defining win at Stockport 3-1 to 24 hours later being dressed up for their Christmas work do, plaster going to the dance. I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. I did go through the rounds on Twitter last night on the Stevenage Football Club Twitter page, and I had a look at some of the comments and reaction for the 3-1 match reaction graphic on Twitter. I'm going to read some of the comments out as we do a three-word analysis, but go on, Anne.
I'll just hop in. What I have seen on Facebook on the League One groups and a little bit on Twitter, so many Stockport fans calling us out for the away attendance, and I
Oh, I've seen this as well.
and do you know what? Right, great. We're not a big club. We're not going to have 600, 700 of us following our team away from home. It's just not realistic. And also with it being 2 weeks till Christmas, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't expect Burton to come to us next Saturday and bring 500. I don't. It's just not realistic, the time of year. So instead of slating fans for not going because they can't afford it because of Christmas, why don't you actually say fair play to the ones that did go?
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
costs a lot of money to go to these games. It's not cheap,
But the thing
especially
is,
like
it's such a stupid argument because it's like, oh yeah, because we had less fans, does that mean we automatically lose the match? It's just such a silly argument, right?
Well, I saw one the other day, and it's MK Dons fan, and he's slating Cambridge for not bringing a huge attendance, despite the fact that they're close. And then you see the camera shot, and they've got half the stadium empty in the home.
Oh, it's just
uh, that is one team
honest.
I cannot stand. MK Dons.
And by the way, the away end at Stockport was effing horrendous. Like, honestly, boys, these big old silver pillars in the way are honestly,
Why did they change that? Because it was not like that. Like
no,
even a month ago, I thought.
no, it was an open, it was better as an open end. But this away end was effing atrocious.
It looked
Honestly.
like a big tent.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. You were at a festival, like under this like gazebo. It was just shocking. Honestly, they need to get rid of that. Or if they're going to build one, do it without the pillars. It was like, honestly, it was like Crawleys on the side, but just a bigger version. It was shit. It was
Did
terrible.
you have a Stockport pie?
I did. I had a meat and potato pie with mushy peas and gravy. That hit the spot with the Strongbow dark fruits. But I certainly burnt that off when Louis Thompson went through and lobbed Hinchcliffe in goal. So yeah, that one was out of the system.
Got your 5K time in there.
Oh mate, I know. Honestly, boys, I'm just so happy they won 3-1. What a win! I'm going to quickly go through the Twitter reaction. We're going to look at League One, and then we're going to chat about Burton next week. Because my God, what an opportunity to go second. James Wolford said, wow, what a win. Statement against a top six team, night and day compared to Tuesday night. Harry said, get in, showed passion out there today. Absolutely correct lineup, and that needs to be front three from here on. Midfield impeccable too, up the borough. Chris Hammond said, 3 actual football goals. Jesus. David Valentin said, masterclass, 2 incredible goals by Chem Campbell and Thompson, and a beautiful tap in BGR. Danny Lusby said, well done, lads, convincing win. Ollie Long said, huge win that. George said, a statement win. Deserved winners. Let's keep this up. Ben said, we are class at this football malarkey. Neil Sullivan said, well done, boys. And Tom said, heard a lot of anti-football shouts about you lot before today, but you were far from it. Very impressive side and deserved to beat us. Fair play. That is Tom, who is a Stockport County fan. Let's take let's take a look at the league table. Come on.
I thought you were going to go through the results there.
Woo! We will do, don't worry, Anne. 5th place, 34 points, 18 matches, 10 wins. And I think the great thing is that still the best defence, just 13 goals conceded in 18 games, 22 goals scored now. Looks good. Compared to the other teams up there, we're pretty similar. Again, we've picked up 8 points from 15, which I think is really underrated, actually. It shows you the changes that Alex Ravel has made to get us winning matches and picking up points again. Really impressive block that we're going through now. A quick look at the table. There were some crazy results on the weekend. Bottom 4, Port Vale, Blackpool, Exeter, Plymouth. From 20th to mid-table, Doncaster, Peterborough, Reading, Burton, Mansfield, Rotherham, Northampton, Leyton Orient, Wickham. From 11th to 7th, Wigan, Wimbledon, Huddersfield, Barnsley and Luton. And the top 6, Stockport in 6th. Us in 5th place, Bolton 4th, Lincoln 3rd, Bradford 2nd and Cardiff City still top on the weekend. Boys, it's looking great. 1 win. And we go into 2nd place. There's some big matches this weekend. And I know you really want to mention something about the division really quickly.
Mind the gap. It's coming down, boy. It's coming down.
goodness sake. For that ad, you just sit here in the week, just pray, I really hope we get above them.
Genuinely, on a Saturday, all I care about is us winning and then and getting above them. I don't care if we get promoted. I don't care if we don't get the playoffs. As long as we're above Lincoln, I'll be a happy man.
Oh,
Playoff final. Playoff final.
oh my God, ad would be the most.
Could you imagine? The Has You Seen would be unbelievable.
The thing
He wouldn't
is,
be able to hold. He wouldn't be able to take it. I'd be
oh,
blocked.
the thing is, right, it's mental, isn't it? Like when you actually look at the league table and you see us fifth place, 34 points from 18, and then we've got all these games in hand on the other teams, and you just think, are we gonna be there come May? I mean, I mean, look, this is the best team that we've ever seen and the best team we've ever had. And I just fully believe we can. I mean, the thing is, boys, there's a gap forming now because if you look at the league table, from us to Luton, it's 5 points and we've got 2 games in hand. Like there is a gap starting to form slowly now from the.
But I think all our attitudes have probably changed the way we started and the way we continue to go. It's from the obviously, do we want to go up automatic just away, or do we want to keep building year by year? It's the argument that we keep talking about. But as we go on, it's like this league is so unpredictable. You've got to take advantage of it. With a team this good, it might not be this good for a few years. We've got to think about it.
I mean, if you offered me, obviously, to go up automatically, it'd be unbelievable. Like that's the dream in this division, right? Because when we came up to League One, none of us ever thought that would be a reality, right? But it would be unbelievable. Could you imagine if we made the playoffs? Like we watch the playoffs every year, and I go to the final every year. I go to both League Two and League One every year just to see who we're going to be playing. I'd love it if we had our moment. Do you know what I mean with this team? That would be like. Here's a question, right? Unbelievable that we're asking this, but we're there. If the playoffs is the way it is now, who would you want? Or just from the collective of the teams up there?
I think our home game would be so important.
It would.
It would be so important.
It would.
I think if Luton snuck in, I'd like Luton. So I don't think they're all that.
Well, I mean,
I'd like Lincoln in the final, and we score some sort of bullshit goal by the Tyrese or someone.
Oh, the Bears! That's the goal.
No, the Bears won't be playing at Wembley.
Why not?
Jovan scored the winner against Lincoln in the final. You've heard it here first.
Jovan Malcolm, what, off the bench in extra time?
Yeah.
Is that where we are, is it?
Nick Freeman. I haven't heard his name in a long time.
No, he's not really an idiot though, because he's quite competent.
I know.
No. I've got one. I can see where this is going. Oh, sorry. Have we come to that inevitable point on the pod where
of course we have. Of course we have.
It's just to know where we are.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
No. I'm gonna shock you. I remember
gas or someone.
No. I remember sitting there and watching our first match of the campaign online because nobody could go against QPR. And I remember sending Tyree Simpson a message going, do you know what, Ty? This is your season, pal. Go and have a great season. Work hard, get yourself to the level and go and score some goals. And the next day, he snapped his Achilles, right? And I have never forgotten that. And I just see him getting
what have you done?
Wheeled away on a golf cart with his head in his hands like that, just thinking, it's over.
Honestly, though, here's a question for you. Playoff final, extra time, last minute, 1-0. Who would you want to score it? Who would you want to score the goal?
Do you know what?
It's like the moment in our history.
For me, it's got to be Jamie Reid.
It would be him, wouldn't
it? You just know if a goal goes in to get you promoted in the last minute.
Because and if that happened, best moment in our history, but it was Dan Butler who scored it.
Oh,
what would you be thinking?
And
I would probably be too pissed to even realise it was Dan Butler because we've got to Wembley in a playoff final and just celebrated anyway. But to be honest, it's if we do get to Wembley and we do go through the playoffs and we get to the final, I don't want it to be a nice goal. I want it to be some sort of bullshit goal that would sum up our club perfectly.
All right, yes,
One
But
that
then.
just trickles over the line.
yeah, but that's why I'm bringing up the Bears to score it because it has to be scored by an
No,
idiot.
he's likely to score an own goal.
I tell you what, we all watched Tyrese get wheeled off on a golf cart. Could you imagine if he come back and he was the guy that got the goal? What a story that would be. From what would that episode be called? It'd be from
Eyes delight.
yeah, from I'm trying to think of a word. From
Are we in a reality? No, that would be. Are we actually living?
from golf cart to Wembley Arch or something like that.
Oh,
From golf from I'm trying to think what we can
I think it would be the end of the pod.
what yeah
Yeah.
yeah
Full of
absolutely.
another idiot.
Oh no, go on.
Jack King.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he was an idiot. I thought Kingy was all right.
I think we've
Somewhat
got to come
competent,
prepped.
somewhat idiot.
I think we've got to come prepped with an idiot every episode.
I think we
Luke
need to do
Prosser.
idiot now. Oh no, no, but
cult
the
hero.
pros, but the pros was different gravy. I mean, he's working at Boots these days. I've heard.
Lines.
Behind that goal at Barrow.
Yeah, basically, Luca.
Adam Prisbeck. He was
Oh.
an idiot.
No, actually, isn't he in Dubai now getting a hero's welcome, isn't he? I saw his presentation that he got when he joined or something.
What a load of bullshit.
Saw
Is that performance
a
at
picture.
Barrow kind
Yes.
of,
Saw a picture, by the way, in Qatar of him catching the ball at Barrow going,
yeah. That Barrow performance just nailed on, sold him bosh.
for God's sake, honestly.
I'm gonna have to go through our past squads to pick out a few idiots.
I tell you
How
what,
is that? How is that guy playing in Indonesia?
it's just mental. It's mental. Do you know what we're going to do? Every week on the pod, we're going to do an idiot round where you have to bring
Yes.
to the party, right? And just throw it in there. And when you say you're idiot, you have to have a story about the idiot that you remember. Like, for example, right? I will throw the idiot of the pros in there, right? And I can't even say it. I will throw the idiot of the pros in there. And my story will be, I will always remember him falling over in the mud on his hands and knees away at Barrow when the floodlights didn't work. And that was the moment it was, we need a whole new squad for me. That's the example. I can see Anne's got another.
Even a moo.
Yeah, but he's the corner winner. He's
Still an idiot.
Yeah, but he is the corner winner, David.
Never filled me with confidence when I saw him on the pitch, but
He can fill me with
David
confidence with a mark. Let me tell you, when he went on that run. You know what I mean? That made me laugh.
Oh, Humber!
Yeah, it looked like he couldn't keep the ball at his feet. He was that quick. The ball was
I
behind.
mean, this guy, I don't think had many moments that I can remember, but Al Horgan.
Oh, Horgy. Oh,
Porgy
yeah.
Bear.
Horgy Bear, as we called him. Oh, Horgy Bear. What a guy. Yeah, Horg. God dear me. What about what was it? John McCracken and
All 50 of the emergency signing goalkeepers.
for goodness sake.
Did we think at the start of this episode that we'd be talking about Darryl Horgan and John McCracken?
There's no chance. Sorry. Have we gone from beating Stockport 3-1 in our season defining wins talking about these idiots, honestly? Burton boys. Well, this is like the game, isn't it? Because if we win this, we could potentially be top 2 by Christmas. But like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the reason why I call it the game is you don't want to beat Stockport the way that we did and then go and play shit. Right? Do you know what I want, boys? And this is just me being honest. Dominating result. Go out and win 3 or 4-0. I know that sounds really arrogant. The level that we've just played, go out Saturday, 4-2-3-1, with a really similar setup to the way that we played and go and dominate Burton and go and score goals again. I want to see a little run of games now where we consistently score goals and we consistently play to that level. I don't know what you boys think.
Don't change anything.
Yeah, leave it the same.
No need to change anything. And we talk about it, it's keeping the core, it's keeping that 11, the familiarity of playing in that way. And players like Phoenix Patterson, they need to run a games. If Phoenix Patterson gets a 90, gets a goal or assist at home in that manner after a really good game against Stockport, think what that'll do for his confidence and what a confident Phoenix Patterson will have is a dangerous player. Yeah, just keep it the same. And if players do come back, if Kempy's fit for Saturday, if White's fit, then be bold, like you were with Pidge at Wigan. Leave him on the bench. Make them come on if we're not playing that well, have that impact and change the game. Make them and force them to get their starting place back. Got to keep back competitive element. And yeah, don't change anything, in my opinion.
I completely agree. I think he should go with exactly the same lineup and setup. How can you not? Phoenix and Chem, especially Chem. Chem had a real coming out game, I thought. I thought he was absolutely fantastic at Stockport in that 3-1 win. But Phoenix, play him, because I think we're coming to a point now where it's really difficult with our squad. You want to play your strongest 11, but it's so difficult because the amount of top-level League One players we have. But we know when you look at the forward line, Phoenix and Chem really should be starting the majority of games in those wide areas. Like if you go through the wide players, Chem, Phoenix, Jordan Roberts, Bez, really you're thinking, well, we now know Phoenix and Chem really should be starting. I know Jordan Roberts is a big player. He's out injured. Those players need to start, in my opinion. And we want to see a dominating performance, don't we? And I say this, come out and score a few goals. Go and be dominant. Really big to win at home again after losing at home, but after beating Stockport playing the way we did, really fancy us to beat Burton and 37 points by Christmas. I mean, boys, if you would have said that to me in the summer, I would have just been like, wow,
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones that we should we look at it on paper and we probably should win. It would be very Stevenage to go on Saturday and lose 1-0 or something. It would be so typically
back in the
Stevenage.
starting lineup.
Yeah, it would be one of those games that we expect to win, and then and coming off that win against Stockport, confidence is high. It'll be one of those games that we end up losing like 1-0 or something. So we've got to make sure that our mentality's right. We approach the game in the right way, and we stick to our guns and we play the football that we can play and not hoof the ball, keep it on the deck, move it side to side, keep it playing forward all the time, and I think we win the game.
I love what both of you boys said earlier about, I feel now that we've won that 3-1 against Stockport, that real season defining win as it was yesterday, I feel like there's a real opportunity now these next couple of games to really put some real top results together. This is a really important period in the season. If we can go on from that 3-1 win and put some results together, some really impressive results, we're really solidifying our position in the top part of the league. When you get round to January, we're there. And I look at these next two matches over Christmas, Burton and Wimbledon. These are really important matches for our team, because if we get the results that really we should, we're going to be top 3 by January. I mean, that is unbelievable. Really big game. I know that we might be doing a match preview with Ed from the Burton pod, which we will see at the end of the week. Burton are down the bottom. They haven't won in their last 3, 2 losses and 1 draw, currently in 17th. So really winnable game for us back at home on Saturday. Boys, the prediction competition. Let me get it up because I feel like Anne had a bit of a stinker on this one on the weekend. No, so, and when 0-0, no points. And from that unfortunate 0-0, Luca went 1-0 Stockport. So earns himself half a point there for getting.
Here's Carl Wootton.
Yeah. Thanks, Carl Wootton, for gaining Luca 2 points. I went 1-1. So I got half a prediction because I got Stockport's 1 goal right. So after the Cardiff and Stockport matches, and currently has 6 points. Luca currently has 8 points. And I currently have 9 points. leading proceedings. Burton, and you went 2-0, us. Luca, you went 1-0, us, against Burton. And I also did the same as And and went 2-0 on Saturday. I think they're good predictions, boys. We've all predicted wins. We've all predicted goals, which is great. Those are our predictions. Borough fans, tweet us your predictions. We will tally up the table for the people that have taken part that I haven't spoken about on the competition. But those are our predictions for the big game against Burton on Saturday. Lads, anything else to add?
Return of Terence Van Gooten. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
He got sent off the last time we played them at the Lamex, didn't he?
Oh, I remember that. He fouled Reedy, didn't he?
Did, and then he skied it, didn't he? So
I remember that. I remember because I was sitting in the north next to you, Farley, and I went, he'll miss this. And he skied it.
And he hit you.
Yeah. Oh, actually saying that, there is something I just want to throw in, actually. Luther Wilding nearly knocked me out on the weekend.
This would be good. Go on.
He hit a shot, and I was standing behind the away end at Stockport, bending down to do my laces, and the ball comes flying in between me and Amy, smashes the chair gets broken, ball hits me on the head, right? And I was like, whoa! And everyone was like, who was that? They were like, Luther just hit a shot. I was like, unbelievable.
So you've just established you had a better game than the Bez, probably more touches than the Bez.
Yeah, no, literally. Did a couple of kick-ups, threw it in the goal as they were getting the warm-up.
Did he at least do that apology hand like?
I don't think he realised that because facing the other way, poor Luke. If you are listening, Luke, you nearly killed me. But I'll do anything for you boys. You're my favourite team. And I've got to be honest, the celebrations in the hot tub after the win were fantastic. 3-1, held up a can of AU vodka. Cheers to Rebs and the boys and, the Bez and all of them. And, it was very, very nice.
I'm sure there was a blue WKD I saw appear at one point.
It was, yeah. We did have a couple of VKs. It was VKs. We would
drink. Good drink.
Boys, absolutely class stuff. That was good fun. That was great. What a win, though, boys. What a win, and what a time.
I ask a question. If my has anyone seen is in the audio, can you clip it and send it to me, please?
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to edit the Has Anyone Seen from Andy Blair, and I'm going to send you it. I'm going to send you that, and I'm going to clip it. I'm going to send you it. I'm going to edit it. You can tweet Jake Tong to your heart's delight, hands tonight.
Put it in Lincoln's comments every time we lose a game.
Oh,
that is mean potential.
Luca hasn't realised what he's just done there. And every time Lincoln slip up, he's going to post that video on Jake Tong's socials. I can just see it. Just
open the door.
By the way, could you imagine if we beat Lincoln at the end of the season to pit them to a playoff spot or something? That will be used simultaneously. I
don't think Jake Tong will go online again if that happens.
I think he may well block me.
Well, that is a huge possibility if that happens.
That could happen after this pod, let's be honest.
It could.
Probably will.
It could, knowing that we're fifth and we're 34 points and, we've got games in hand and we can go second against Burn. I mean, a lot of these teams, actually, that's the one thing I haven't done, the fixtures for Saturday. I'm going to run through these and then we'll end. We play Burton, of course, 12:30 game on Saturday. That'll be fun. We can play Blackpool the other 12:30. Then it's Doncaster, Plymouth, Exeter, Barnsley, Orient, Bradford, Lincoln, Cardiff, Mansfield, Stockport, Port Vale, Peterborough, Rotherham, Huddersfield, and Wycombe, Bolton. So just one last thing, boys. We've got the easiest game of the lot there. I mean, my God, there's a real opportunity to go second. Jesus. With Bradford away at Orient, Lincoln v Cardiff. Dear me. So, yeah, that'll be very interesting. Borough fans, thank you for tuning in to episode number 31, which is called Yes! On the Stevenage Football Club podcast. Yes, because we score goals. Yes, because we won the biggest game of the season in a top of the table clash. And yes, we beat another top team. We've done it, finally, this season. Guys, stay tuned for hopefully another match preview episode this week. If not, we will be back next Sunday reacting to the big result, hopefully against Burton. And then we'll be looking ahead to Christmas and the special Christmas episode. Hopefully that will be getting planned this week, I do believe. Make sure to give us a follow and a like and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching. And also if you're listening on the Audibles such as Spotify, please go and give us a follow and a like. That'd be much appreciated. Guys, have a lovely week. Enjoy fifth. Let's do it all again on Saturday. At this time, guys, you have been listening to the #1 podcast and platform at Stevenage Football Club, the Stevenage Football Club podcast. Have a lovely weekend, guys, and a lovely week at the Borough.